Hey guys, everything notice on here. Deutsche Bank. Not back in the news. They've always been in the news. And again, this is bad news from Zero Hedge. Deutsche Bank tells investors not to worry about 46 trillion in derivatives. Don't worry about it, everybody. If you're invested in us, these derivatives, they will be fine, and it's not as bad as it looks. Having first flagged Deutsche Bank and Deutsche Bank's enormous derivative book for the first time back in 2013, it wasn't until last week that JP Morgan admitted just what the biggest risk facing Deutsche Bank was. In a note by JP Morgan's Panagurtzolu, the strategist warned that, in our opinion, it's not so much funding issues that, but rather derivatives exposures that are more likely to trouble the market going forward if Deutsche Bank concerns continue. And everybody said it's the bonds, it's the derivatives that are going to take down the market this time. This is especially true if these concerns propagate into a confidence crisis, inducing more rapid unwinding of derivatives contracts. This whole economy is based on confidence. It's all based on fiat currency. Fiat currency is a government-instituted currency that is backed by nothing. And so if confidence is lost, consumer confidence, then consumers will stop accepting fiat currency for their goods and services. And that's when you get hyperinflation. You need more and more of the same currency to buy the same product. For those new to the story, Deutsche Bank has one of the largest notional derivatives books, its portfolio of financial contracts based, let me go down here. Don't think I can get there. Its portfolio of financial contracts based on the value of other assets. As first we noted in 2013, it peaked at 75 trillion, about 20 times German GDP. But it shrunk to 46 trillion by the end of last year. So they're getting better. They're getting these derivatives off their books slowly, but they're still there. That's still a lot of money. That's around 12% of notional value of derivatives outstanding worldwide. According to the Bank of International Settlements, it was 46 trillion as of Q2, measured by notional outstanding. German GDP, gross domestic product, the value of all products and services for a year that Germany produces is about 3 trillion. The European Union as a whole, if you put them all together, all the goods and services produced, if you sold everything, the GDP is 14.6 trillion. The exposure of Deutsche Bank, because it's gambling and multiplied and leveraged, is a 42 trillion by this chart here. JP Morgan bank analysts confirmed the size of DB's Deutsche Bank's book and note that the BIS data provide an alternative but indirect gauge to the size of the derivatives exposure. So this is what's going to happen when the derivatives explode because interest rates rise or whatever, and margin calls are triggered. You're going to have Deutsche Bank collapsing, and then Deutsche Bank is intertwined and connected to all these other banks: Bank of China, Citigroup, HSBC, Barclays, RBS, Credit Suisse, Commerce Bank, the other bank that's in trouble in Germany. When they go down, when Deutsche Bank goes down, all these other banks collapse with it. And what did Deutsche Bank say? They said, oh, the risks in our derivatives books are massively overestimated. He said 46 trillion in derivatives exposure at Deutsche Bank appeared large, but reflected only the notional value of contracts, while the bank's net exposure to derivatives was far lower, around 42 billion. Okay. The 46 trillion euros figure sounds gigantic, but it's completely misleading. The real risk is far lower, he says. Okay, sure. Another article from from Zero Hedge. ECB allowed Deutsche Bank to cheat in the latest stress tests. In the latest scandal to emerge involving Deutsche Bank earlier today, the Deutsche Bank's largest lender was allowed to cheat. Pardon was given special treatment by the ECB in July stress tests. So these banks that are going through stress tests to confirm that they're not going to fail in the next economic downturn are failing the tests. As FT notes, the Huizia treatment was disclosed in a footnote to Deutsche's stress result test and adds that None of the other 50 banks in the stress test had similar footnotes, even though several also had deals agreed but not completed at the end of 2015. So they're allowing these stress tests to slide, and these banks are they're not being properly stress tested. So the next downturn that is going to happen, and it's inevitable. These banks are all going to fail because they're not ready. They have too much exposure to derivatives and etc. So this is all going to absolutely collapse. I will leave it there, guys. There's no end in trouble to Deutsche Bank, and the trouble is increasing day by day now. It's not even week by week. Day by day, new news, new information comes out about Deutsche Bank. So as I said before, put your seatbelts on. This is absolutely inevitable. This is likely imminent, and it's not if but when it's going to occur. So I will leave it there, guys, and links in the description. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.